Yeah, I'm just watching the youth intake train. Yeah, I don't know, mate, I don't know. Maybe my standards are a bit high, but, they just look very blah. Yeah. Oh, the loan was extended. Oh, that's excellent news, mate, excellent news. Which one? All three of them. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to Season 13, Episode 11 here at H&W Welders on the Impossible Dream as we look to win the Champions League with our Northern Irish club. And today, well, it's not Europe. Well, technically, we could maybe claim it as Europe. It's the Caramel Wafer Cup Final. We're going to be playing Raith Rovers in that. And then we've got the Irish Cup semi-final. It's a cup doubleheader against Larne. So a tough one. Hopefully, though, a trophy and another final appearance. Now, there's a lot to catch you up on since last episode. The big news, in a way, is the new youth intake has arrived. It was a little bit... yeah... I mean, I've got to remember, a two-star player right now, or a three-star player, for example, is McDade. So a three-star player is a very good player at certainly domestic level. So we've got two of those potentially in Andrew Best, a right back, a 15-year-old right back, and then Johnny Hughes as well as a striker. It just seems a little bit underwhelming, doesn't it? You can see there's nobody else really that's going to make it. And even if we just search the youth team by potential, I mean, there's some players there that are not going to be bad players, but it just all seems a little bit underwhelming, doesn't it? 2- and 3-star players. But there we go. Kevin Moore is maybe the next cab off the rank to go up, and what was the other one here? Jimmy Maguire, is it? You know, there's decent players, but there's no one there that's going to come through, and there's no Miss Kelly or that sort of player that's come through this season, which is a little bit disappointing. But what isn't disappointing? And there's no real way to show you this without just going through the players, but we have extended the loans of 3 of our wingers. So Cian Scully is going to be back again next season. We can see if we click here that the contract expires at the end of 2034, which is next season. So he's back for another year, which is absolutely huge. What are we paying him a week? 3,700. Now the other two, Dylan Lake will be back for, how many seasons have we had him on loan for now? For a 5th season on loan. So that is absolutely brilliant that he's going to be back. Again, we're not paying that much of his wages. You know, 2,200 a week. Now, he's on much more than that at Liverpool. Would have said here. He's on 22 grand a week. So we're paying essentially nothing of his wages, which is absolutely huge. And the third loan that's been extended is, of course, Martin Mackay. So he's going to be here for what will be a 3rd season for him. And, well, yeah, I mean, you know I love this guy. He is just very, very, very good at football. So, excellent news. And what are we paying him a week? I think it's all the same. It's all the same, I'm fairly sure, whatever we're paying them. So, there's a minimum release fee and a relegation clause, 26 million. That's a little bit out of it. Oh, he's on 62 grand a week, and they're loaning him to us for next to nothing. You got to love Fulham. So that is that. A little bit of maybe bad news is in the medical centre. We've had a few players that have essentially had seasons ended. Monaghan, 2 to 3 months with a torn hamstring. That is definitely season over for him in April. So that's a shame. Will we see him again next season? I wouldn't mind getting him back. He is a good player. Yeah, I mean, he's one of these I'd almost rather sign him permanently than loan him in. But we'll see what happens anyway. That'll sort of sort itself out in the summer. And the other one is Brian McManus. He has twisted his ankle after he broke his ankle, of course, earlier on this season. Same ankle as well. So I don't know if he's going to make it with us, to be honest. The potential's falling away. We're not struggling for strikers. And we only really signed him because he was so cheap, 125 grand. So it's not that he's played badly for us when he has played, but I do wonder if maybe we just let him go. Maybe we just put him out to pasture, or maybe we loan him out next year and try and get that value up a bit and then try and sell him. So we've still got 2 years after this season, 2 more seasons after this, so we could loan him out next season and maybe look to sell him the summer after. But anyway, that is the bad news on the injury front. Now we've got some games to catch you up on the pitch after our just so disappointing, wasn't it, the exit from Europe last episode. The first game to catch you up on was in the Cup, the Irish Cup. It was against Glenavon. Let's see how we did. Atwell's shot deflected off Tommy Martin to put us in front. before Armstrong secured the tie in the second half. So a lucky deflection and a wonderful free kick got the job done for us here. Martin knew absolutely nothing about it. Literally the one off the backside. Atwell also missed a penalty, and when let's say missed a penalty, he put it past the post. He missed the penalty. But we're into the next round. Obviously, we kind of knew that, didn't we? Because we're playing the semi-final this episode. So that was solid enough. Well done to us. Next up, it was back in the league against Dungannon. McDade gave us an early lead, and McKay crossed for Brady to double it within a minute. Before Armstrong crossed for Brady to volley in his second before half-time. So there we go, we've essentially won this game inside 4 minutes. We did manage a third goal before half-time. Second half just kind of played out, to be honest. Yeah, we gave the young winger McLean a game. He's someone that's a little bit more highly potential than some of the others, so we'll try and obviously max out his potential if we can. But yeah, it was just, like I say, we won it early, it was comfortable. And next up, it was the Caramel Wafer Cup semi-final against Dundee United. Let's see how we won. Scully picked out Armstrong to give us an early lead. Dundee United pulled level midway through the second half. Before Lake found Picasso to restore our advantage. And Armstrong's second secured our place in the final. So we put out a strong side. We did make hard work of it, but we got there in the end. And in the end, it looks a little bit more comfortable than perhaps it was. But yeah, so obviously when we knew we were in the final, because it's our first game today against Raith Rovers. But Dundee United were a decent side. They had a few good players in their team. And yeah, they made it difficult for us. Final game to catch you up on was in the league. It was the final game before the split. It was against Carrick Rangers. A win here was to put us in the Champions League, and that would mean a secured top 2 place. So let's see how we did. McDade put us ahead early. And we got our second early in the second half when Thompson finished a counter-attack. So we did enough to win this game, and I wouldn't say we did anything more. Really did enjoy that second goal. So the goals early in each half was enough to get us across the line. But yeah, enjoyed that Tomo counter, or finishing off the counter attack anyway. And yeah, as again, just a comfortable result for us. Let's have a look and see what that all means for the competitions. We do park the league to one side, but we are 12 points clear. We're into the split now, so 5 games to go. 15 points will be enough. Well, 14 because our goal difference is ridiculous. So it's just a matter of time really before we claim that league title. But as I said today, it's all about the cups. We've got the Irish Cup semi-final away to Larne, unless it's a neutral venue. I think it's away to Larne though. But before that, the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer Cup Final. We're against Raith Rovers. We're going to try and retain our trophy, and this is a team. As we go through, see there's some league fixtures there that we're going to send out. Now we're expecting a 4-4-2. It's sort of a little bit of a diagonal 4-4-2 there, isn't it? And this is a team that we're sending out. We are going to put out a strong team because it's a trophy and we want to win a trophy. So it's Zanetti in goal. It's Ellis, Kidd, Martin and Hill as the back 4. It's Atwell and Thompson in midfield. It's Scully, Armstrong and Lake. Picasso goes up top. A bench of Amstadter, the backup goalkeeper. We officially almost backup goalkeeper now. It's Patoknik, Burian. It's Resnashek, it is Napoleon, it is Brady and McCracken on the bench. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. I don't recognize, I potentially recognize some names. So 13 is Fraser Hornby is one I recognize. Alfie Jones, I think we may have had him at somewhere before as well. What do we want to say to this? Just go out there and relax, boys. The result will come. We'll pump our fists and hopefully we can put on a good result here. So, third final of the season, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, no, because we lost the Irish Champions Cup. 13 hasn't been a lucky number for us, has it really? We got done by Dundalk in the Irish Champions Cup. We've crashed out of Europe, which means we, of course, have lost our automatic Champions League spot for winning the league. A reminder, we'll get it for next season for winning the league this year, but for the season after, we're going to have to qualify again, so that's disappointing. And yeah, it's just not quite gone to plan, but we've got an early throw here. Kidd gets it forward for Thompson. Atwell has it. Crossfield ball looking for Scully. Nods it down but can't find Picasso. Ellis picks it up. Atwell again for Lake. For Armstrong. Armstrong goes on the outside. Can he pull it back? He goes back to Atwell for Thompson. Thompson goes wide. This is nice football for Hill. Can he pull it back for somebody? Scully gets blocked away. Thompson still picks it up. Crossing for Scully again, and nobody picked up the Scully. For Scully? Picked up Scully, the right winger. And it's an early goal. It's 1-0, and that is, well, that's what you like to see, isn't it? Look at Scully just floating in there. Thompson went out to play, well, right back, right wing, got the cross in. No one's picking up Scully. And, well, Harper was probably the man that should have done that. And it's 1-0. Good finish from Scully, and we've come straight back. Yeah, so we'll kind of see how this episode goes. I should say we will be voting on your Viewers Player of the Year as well this episode in between the two games. So make sure you don't miss out on that. Thank you for everybody who nominated players. A little bit shorter notice this season on the nominees, just because, yeah, the way that the season played out, and obviously losing to Marseille and not wanting to dwell on this season. Here we go with Scully. Can he be provider? Seconds later, it's blocked again. They are doing a good job blocking crosses coming in. Atwell, time and space. Scully's got free again. He plays it back across, and it's offside. I think Scully was off, you know. Does it say who it was? Yeah, it was Scully. It's difficult to disagree with that. He did look offside. One thing I'm thinking of doing, actually, too, is once... Oh, I didn't want to do it in the cups because... Here we go. Armstrong. Back for Atwell. Atwell! Oh, that's stunning. What a strike from Jeffrey Atwell. Only a second goal of the season. But what a goal it is. I think his first one was pretty good as well, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember now. I think he smashed one in maybe even further out than that. But it's going quite well, this final, isn't it? A little bit of a deflection on the ball there. Armstrong and Atwell exchange passes, and Atwell just almost passed it into the back of the net, didn't he? Wonderful stuff. Yeah, so I am going to try and experiment with a new formation, sort of the double Mazzella. I'm thinking of trying. I'm trying to figure. What I'm trying to figure out is our wingers are, I think, amongst our best players. So I still want to have wingers, and if I want to have a double Mazzella in there as well, it's trying to figure out Picasso in front of goal, and Picasso makes it 3-0. Scully is on fire. A 27th goal this season for Picasso, sorry. He has been very, very good. Yeah, so it's kind of a way I've got to sort of work backwards from the positions I want on the field. So I want two wingers. We're going to want sort of two central midfielders. And if we're going to be playing in Europe, I'm thinking we probably want, if not three centre-backs, two centre-backs and a half-back or something along those lines. So it's... I'm thinking, I don't know, I call it the Antonio Conte formation. So it's kind of three centre-backs, two wing-backs, two wingers, a striker, and that leaves you then with sort of two central midfielders. But then I'm thinking, if we have so many wide players, do we actually want to have... So it's bouncing around there. It's played through for Lake. Dylan Lake, it's a save. It's a good save as well. If we're going to have fullbacks or wing-backs, it will be fullbacks, I suppose, if we're playing with wingers as well, do we also then want Mazzellas? It could leave us very open through the middle. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out in my head how I actually want to go about it. Yeah, so it might be a case of maybe we can't have Mazzellas and wingers on the field at the same time. Unless we have wingers, unless we play, I'm thinking out loud at this point, unless we don't play a central striker and use the wingers as sort of inside forwards or something along those lines. There's a fantastic ball through for Picasso, but he can't find the back of the net. But then we run into the problem of the likes of Scully in particular and McKay. They're not, I mean, they score a lot of goals for us, but they're not necessarily the best finishers. Here we go with Dylan Lake. Can he get a ball in here? It's going to go himself across the face of goal. If we look at Lake, for example, finishing of 9, I mean, that's okay domestically, but if we're talking about playing in the Champions League, it's not really good enough, is it? For someone who would be considered our main or one of our main goal threats. There's another great ball through for Picasso, and again, we just can't find the back of the net. You'd say if it's not already dead, a fourth goal does kill it, doesn't it? And, well, we're toying with them, really. There's a ball forward, Lake, Picasso, neither of them can get on the end of it. Quick ball forward. Tommy Martin nods it down, looking for Kidd, but only finding Coldwell. And are they going to pull one back before the break here? Kidd, don't get yourself sent off, mate. That's some nice football, and they've hit the post. That's unlucky for Raith Rovers. And I wonder if we should give them a focus here. Zanetti, was it offside? Potentially. I missed that. It looked like a free kick, though, didn't it? We seem to have the middle of the park. We seem to just be the better team all over, don't we? We seem to have the middle of the park when we want it. Our wide players have space. And, I mean, that's the sort of thing that we were up against, wasn't it, against Marseille, where we just seem to be very much second best everywhere. Here we seem to just be best everywhere. So we'll point our fingers. We'll say don't get complacent. It appears to be a matter of just don't choke. And, I mean, we are a choking hazard, aren't we? But we should be okay here. But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts on the best way to kind of balance a team, the other thought I had is if we're playing 3 centre-backs, if we defend with width, Atwell's done very well there. Pulls it back for Picasso, and Picasso gets his second of the game. Atwell, a wonderful assist at 4-0. That should officially be that. And there we go. Yeah, so the other thing I was contemplating is if we play with 3 centre-backs and defend with width, could we then just play with not sort of attacking wingers, just midfield wingers, if that makes sense? Get them to sort of do a tracking job like I would do now anyway. But I don't know if we're going to cost ourselves going forward. I mean, we can only try it and see. But if we did that, that might allow us to then have a DM in as well. So 3 centre-backs, a DM. If we went, say, 2 up top, and then if we got 2 more in midfield as Mazzellas. So if we play sort of a deep lying forward and an advanced forward or a poach or something along those lines, Scully with a header, and it's just past the post. But I never really like playing just 3 centre-backs with no sort of full-backs or wing-backs, but I just wonder if maybe that's a way around it. Again, like I say, I can only sort of experiment and try these things in friendlies, the league, and just see how it works. But again, the difficult thing we have, as we are about to win the Caramel Wafer Cup again, the difficult problem we have is that just because something works against Carrick Rangers doesn't mean it's going to work against Marseille, for example. You know, it's really difficult. And we had this problem with Bala Town as well, where you have to kind of experiment in a competitive game in Europe to see if something works, because the standard is just so different domestically. Maybe we could try something we'd have to try against Linfield and Larne. They're sort of the best gauges we have. I mean, Linfield got out of their group in the Conference League, Europa Conference, so they're obviously not terrible, but they're also obviously not this level of opposition we're going to be coming up against, but we might get some sort of idea if it will work. But there we go. We have won the Caramel Wafer Cup. Tommy Martin, captain on the day, club vice-captain, of course, leads the boys up. And it's not this trophy that we want, but it is a trophy. And it is, of course, the most delicious trophy in football, as we say every season. 4-0, they've earned this. And there we go, we are Caramel Wafer Cup champions yet again. So there we go, a very good performance from us. Scully, Atwell was brilliant, wasn't he? 8.2, I'm assuming he would be man of the match, would he not? Picasso with a double as well. Scully was good, I mean, everybody was good. It's hard to pick a bad player there. We'll just say congratulations. Let's celebrate that one. So Harlan and Wolf Welders lift the Challenge Cup. A little bit more money in the bank, and it's a famous treble. We've got the league to come for a quadruple, and then obviously the Irish Cup to potentially come, and we've won 3 of the last 4 years. Nicely done. And then, of course, potentially the Irish Cup for a quintuple. Quintuple, or if I missed one there? I think that's Quint B5, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's not worry about that. I'll give myself a headache. Guys, wait right there. We will be back to vote on your player of the year, and also to take on Larne for a place in the Irish Cup Final. Okay, welcome back. Now it is time for you to vote for your Viewers Player of the Year. We'll announce the winner, of course, next episode's End of Season Awards. Thank you everybody who did nominate. We have been left with 4 nominees. The way that this has worked is that there was 2 players that had 2 nominations, and then a bunch of players that had 1. So rather than have a 2-player runoff, what I've done is I've taken the 2 players with one nomination with the highest average match rating. So in alphabetical order, the nominees are Anthony Armstrong, 11 goals, 14 assists, an average match rating of 7.79. I really feel like we're starting to see the best of him this season, which is probably why the Manchester clubs and Paris Saint-Germain have bid for him so far this season. The second nominee is Dylan Lake, 19 goals for him this season, very consistent goal scorer for us, 14 assists and an average match rating of 7.73. And of course, we're very happy to have him back again next season. The third nominee is our goal-scoring extraordinaire in the league, Aaron McDade. 34 goals so far this season, 4 assists, and an average match rating of 7.69. And the fourth nominee is everybody's second favourite Australian. It is Napoleon with 10 goals, 15 assists and an average match rating of 7.56. So as ever, there will be a link right down the top of the description below the video there. Click on that, it'll take you through to a straw poll where you can vote for who you think has been our best player or your favourite player this season. And as I said, we'll announce the winner at next episode's end of season awards. But right now, let's see if we can finish next season, this next episode with the final of the Irish Cup. Let's go face Larne in the semi. So it is at a neutral venue. The stadium we are playing at is, of course, I did look and I've forgotten. It is the Oval, which is, I think, Glentoran's home ground, is it not? So let's have a look and see what we're doing here. We're expecting a defensive 4-3-3, perhaps, if we're being generous to them. This is a team we're sending out. We are making a few changes just to keep things interesting. So Zayanetti in goal, same back four of Ellis, Kidd, Martin and Hill. Atwell and Thompson continue in midfield. Brady and McKay are going to be the wingers for this one, with Armstrong as the number 10, and Gill is going to come in to play up front for us. Armstrong is looking tired, but we've had to promise him first team football, so we'll need to keep him in the lineup. And then the bench is Amstadter, it's Potoknik, Burian, Resnashek, Napoleon, Scully, and McCracken. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. Seth Keach, still captain of Larne all these 13 seasons later. Would he come through first year? I can't remember now. But nobody else there is a former player of ours that I recognise. And what do we want to say to this? Just keep the run going, I suppose, boys. Thompson is looking aggressive, which maybe isn't ideal, but he's an aggressive player. Just don't get yourself sent off there, please, Tomo. Alright, then here we go. Another final potentially on the line here. And yeah, we just need to try and take as many positives as we can from this season, don't we? And if we can clean up domestically again, taking away the Irish Champions Cup, then, you know, that's not too bad, I suppose. But nothing we do domestically is going to make up for European disappointment. It's just unfortunately the way it is. But of course, if we smash Larne, then we'll have a smile on our faces, won't we? Goal kick forward. Ellis has lost out there. Kidd has allowed Healy in behind, and we are 1-0 down after 1 minute and 45 seconds. And that is not what we wanted. Let's tell them to focus. It was very much just route one, wasn't it? Ellis lost the first header. Ball down, in behind, and Kidd just a little bit too slow to react, and Zayanetti will... I mean, it wasn't in the corner, was it? He could maybe have done better. And are we going to have another Marseille moment here where we just don't turn up for a game? Which would be horribly disappointing, if for no other reason than the fact that we wouldn't have anything to end the episode on other than the final league game of the season. Corner in, headed away. McKay is there. I mean, you could maybe argue that I made changes unnecessarily. There was about a week between the games, but... it's happening again, isn't it? I mean, McKay and Lake are just as good as each other, and arguably Brady and Scully are as well. We need Zayanetti, though, to try and keep us in this game. He hasn't, and we're 2-0 down. And, well, I don't know what to do. It's Marseille all over again. It just seems like we have the ability to switch off. We'll give them a berating because, I mean, but the fact we're looking anxious tells me that I've got something wrong in the team talk. It's just like Marseille, isn't it? Let's try a no pressure shout. Whatever I've said, the atmosphere, the mentality is just completely wrong. Let's try an encouragement. Can we just try and get into half time without conceding a third? And we've got massive work to do in the second half here. I don't know if we're expecting a better showing second half. I don't know if that's the right thing to say or not. Let's go with I know you're capable. And tactically, what can we change? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to lower the tempo and maybe look for overlaps. We'll see how we respond. Atwell's not having a great game. We'll just see how we start the second half before we start making wholesale changes here. Let's give them some encouragement. And we've got a corner. We could really do with an early goal in this second half, couldn't we? But it's headed away. McKay should get to that. He goes back to Hill. It's forward there for Atwell. Atwell gives it away. Can we win it back with Tomo? Doesn't look like we can. And with Napoleon on the bench, I'm going to say that does it for Atwell. You can only give... Oh, for sake. Come on, Zanetti. Please, mate. Oh, it's hit the post. And is that the moment that can change? Now, can we do like a... No, I was going to say like it was at Watford and Leicester, wasn't it? All those years ago. Let's give it a focus. What we're not doing is creating anything. Ball in. Headed away again. McKay knocks it down. Can Armstrong get to that first? No, he can't. Come on, boys. Win that back. They're toying with you. Don't stand for that. Just don't lunge in. Ball over the top. We've been done again. Oh, and straight to Zanetti. Alright, so let's try something along those lines. We'll get stuck in. I wonder if we regroup. I wonder if we kind of regroup and just make it difficult for them to find the passing avenues. Alright, Gill as an anxious striker is about as useful as tits on a ball, so let's get McCracken on for him. And, I mean, Brady's not playing well, so we'll get Scully on for him, I suppose. And that's our subs. Ball in from the corner. McCracken is, I think it was, that gets it clear. And we've got 20 minutes to go to try and rescue this, or what's been a horrible season is just going to get more and more disappointing. Hill does okay there. Can Tommy Martin win it back? Oh, don't give away another penalty. Jesus Christ, we are terrible when we're terrible. We're not just kind of bad, are we? We absolutely stink the place out. Let's hit early crosses. I genuinely don't know. I just don't understand what happens to us sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's complacency, but you know, in the press conference beforehand, in the tunnel interview, everything was, you know, oh, it's not done. You know, like we have to win the game. It's going to be a tough game. All that kind of stuff that you say to try and make sure you're not going to be complacent. Kid just impresses me more and more every game. There's a ball forward for Armstrong to find McKay. McKay to McCracken, and we've pulled one back. We have 15 minutes left to try and save this semi-final. And can we do it? And for the first time, we've got the ball down. We've played a little bit of football. It's a good pass from Armstrong to find McKay. McKay kept his composure, didn't have a shot. McCracken couldn't miss. And let's demand more again. We need more of that, boys. Can we get a second goal in quick succession here? It doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? So we'll go all-out attack. We don't have another sub, do we? It's just if we were to say do that, no. Okay, so what we might do then, if that is the case, is we'll stick Tommy Martin up there as a target man, just to try and win the ball back for us, because we literally have nothing to lose, basically. We'll go more... We don't think we want to go extreme direct. We're not that desperate. Yeah, let's just do that, and let's see what that does for us. Napoleon's made no real impact on the game, has he? And we've crashed out at the semi-final. I don't understand what happens with us. now I'm having this thought now. I wonder if the issue is the end of the last game where we celebrated. Maybe that was the moment we had to refocus everybody. But we've been stunned by incisive Larne. We will not be winning the Irish Cup this season. And that's a massive disappointment because we have... Where is the Irish Cup here? Here it is here. We have kind of made it our own recently. We've won it, semi-regularly. 4 out of the last 7, is that? Yeah, that's a massive disappointment. So, guys, if you've enjoyed that, we won the Caramel Wafer Cup, which is something. Make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And we'll come back for the glamour tie of Coleraine away to end the season. We will have won the league. I think if we just take a point out of Larne, I think we're going to have won that. The league is essentially a formality, so we'll come back to wrap up the season. We'll have our end of season awards, goal of the season competition, all that sort of fun stuff. That's all for next time, guys. I apologize for the second episode in a row. They don't let us down often, but they've let us down 2 days in a row here. Take care.